folks? I'm Bob Gucci. This is Jay Swish 93.1. We are back in HB3 International Recording Studios again because this is the hardest working show in show business. Swish, how the heck are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, this is the hardest working show in show business. We could be at the Waste Management. We could be out playing tennis. But no, we're going to do a back-to-back, a doubleheader. We got Mike Stung coming on in a few minutes, as well as we're going to do a Patreon episode today. So all Chin Club members will get their exclusive content. If you haven't signed up for the Chin Club, go check that out on Patreon. We do it. It's $5 a month, one extra episode a week. You guys, it's tailored to you. You dictate what we talk about. It's all retarded. It's all of our people. It's our locker room over here at HB3. So if you haven't signed up for the Patreon, go over there. Every $3 we get out of the $5 goes a long way to buying more dust and chew.
Yep. None of the money goes to charity. We are the charity over here. There's nothing like being at CVS and they ask you if you want to round up for children's hunger, just so CVS can write off all that money. Everything's corrupt. Everything's fraud. Beautiful Friday, February 6th in Scottsdale, Arizona. The douchebags are out. I just heard a guy shouting at a girl in the Cheesecake Factory parking lot over there while holding a tall boy. Everyone's drunk.
Everyone's high. And, dude, I'm taking a lot of heat over my tweet about golf bros and how golf bros. Oh, yeah. It's either love or hate, and there's no in between. The golf bros, the cookie cutter white guy that's a 14 handicap that dresses like he's about to go teed up. When he goes to a golf event, they're really mad right now at me.
Why? Because you called them out for dressing like the golfers?
Yeah, because I just basically stated the truth. And last night before I was going to bed, it was like probably midnight. And I just refreshed it because I was just getting like a lot of them late were, because they get drunk and they start, getting aggressive and, offended. I was getting a ton of tweets at me. And then I was like, all right, I'm just going to refresh it one more time just to see what these people are saying. Kind of just skimmed through it, didn't really read it. And then I got a like from Lee Westwood, a.k.a. Lee Wrenchwood, longtime PGA Tour player. So that was cool. He must have agreed with me, the South African.
Yeah, I mean, golfers are some of the biggest dickheads on the planet. I stand by that. Go to a golf club, right? Go in the clubhouse. Everyone has a stick up their ass. Half the guys are closeted. There's the etiquette. There's over the top. It's a sport that's full of douchebags, and they should just embrace that because it's true. It's not in an offensive way. But you're a douchebag, and I mean that in a loving way. It's just facts.
Yeah, you're just like such a cookie cutter white guy, and you're so vanilla. But why do you dress like you're about to go play though when you go to a golf event? I never understood that, and it's more prevalent than ever at this tournament. There's 200,000 of these guys.
Yeah,
like you're wearing a bad birdie polo that's just some flamboyant, overly tight and bright polo t-shirt. Then you got Travis Matthews, either slacks on or you have the shorts on. Why do you have a white belt on? Why do you have a glove? And why are you wearing golf spikes? Like, you don't need that grip walking around. Dude, you're standing in one spot theoretically the whole time. Most people that go to Waste Management, they don't leave the area they're in. They're either in the greenskeeper, they're at the 18th, the 16th, the stadium. Not many people are walking around. And even if you are, why are you wearing golf shoes? Why don't you just wear normal shoes? And why don't you just wear a pair of gym shorts and a cutoff or a nice t-shirt? You don't need a polo on, dude. Like, you don't. It just looks so gay.
The etiquette is all for control, though. That's why. Like golfer etiquette is just for falling in line and being, part of that little rat pack of assholes that married the wrong girl, and then they think it's cool to bitch about your wife on the course. But in reality, the joke's on you.
Yeah, but those guys, they go to that event because they want people to know that they golf. Dude, fella, everyone golfs. Like you're not.
You know how I feel.
You don't separate yourself from other people just because you're wearing what you would wear to golf. You don't see people at hockey games that just dress up in full pads. I mean, maybe a few guys you do, and if you go to a baseball game, you don't see guys with a jersey and baseball pants unless it's probably me. Or it's like the guy that brings the glove to a baseball game. Like, fella, just leave the mitt at home.
If you're in the outfield, I don't mind that if you're a kid. But other than that, who knows?
Yeah.
But folks, without any further ado, We're having Mike Young on the program today. We actually recorded a full episode with him last week. It all got deleted. We had some technical difficulties over here at HP3 International Global Worldwide Studios, but we're going to have him back on right now live. Swish, you're way better at the intros than me. I don't know if you want to preface this interview or conversation for the people.
Sure. Yeah. Fighting out of Detroit, Michigan. Hands like a priest, hands like a young Datsuk, especially on the speed heavy bag as well. Actor, comedian, producer, writer. Folks, none other than Michael Young, the pride of the Dirty D, baby. Mike, I know you're calling in from Vegas right now.
Yeah.
Have a show tonight at the Win, aka the Chin. How we doing, fella? Take two over here.
Yo, bro. What's up, fellas? We're doing great. I'm at the Win, Dry Air, 2 shows tonight. Me and Sebastian, 2 shows tomorrow. Been listening to you guys for the last 4 minutes. God, is that funny?
Yeah, so
I mean,
Mike,
what is golf?
What's
What
that?
is it?
Yeah, what is golf, dude? It's just a bunch of, I don't know.
Mike, do you golf?
No.
Yeah.
Honestly, I played hockey my whole life. Adult athlete. I can golf. If you call me to golf, I'm not going to embarrass anybody. You know what I mean? I know how to swing a club, but no, I'm not with the golf. And I've been to that waste management tournament. Like I used to book the comedy tour that weekend because all the girls would be like showing up. You know what I mean? Like all the hot model chicks would be on the different holes handing out beers. So I'd coordinate the comedy tour at the Tempe Improv with the tournament. But other than that, no, man, I'm not with that culture.
Yeah, it's just these guys that they just take themselves so seriously. And like we were talking about before, you just would never see, and you don't, I mean, the odd person, but you would never see someone go to a hockey game in full gear, unless it's for the bit. These guys walk around like they're really serious. Like I saw a guy, I lived pretty close to the course. He had a rangefinder on. He was like just gunning how far the Chipotle was and how far he had to walk. It was like 152 yards. It's like, bro, you can get 60 steps. You don't have to Uber there.
By the way, what's up with why do you gotta be so quiet? Like what other sport?
Yeah.
Shut up. Like you're so white focused. You know what I mean? Like how white
hit
are
the ball,
you?
man. Just hit the fucking ball. You're hitting a ball a couple times to get it in a cup. It's not like just swing the club. I don't know.
And nobody's good at it.
Yeah. No. I kind of like I've talked about this so much to where I don't want to like keep repeating myself, but just the golf culture in general of how serious and how mad everybody is when the weather is great and you're playing golf, dude. It's not that big of a deal. So yeah, I don't know.
Right. Mad golf face. They all got mad, angry golf face.
Yeah. They're, like I said, they're drunk. They're pissed off. They married the wrong girl. They had kids too early. They're bitching about it on the course. Like they're bitching about how their wife doesn't put out, even though they put on 50 pounds after they, got married. Yeah, golf culture is just not for me, man. I don't really mess with that. But if somebody wants me to do a golf video that has a lot of subscribers or viewers, I'll go do it.
He'll do it in 5 minutes. You'll do it in 5 minutes.
I love golf.
I always say, Mike, I'll do anything for 422 views. You know what I mean? Just that's my price. But
I think your love of golf is equal to the hate of your family. You know what I mean? Like if you just want to be out there so much, it's how much you want to be away from your family.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, 100%.
Like you said, you married the wrong girl.
Yeah, and you don't have your side pieces in line, but that's a story for another day.
Get it in line, bro.
Yeah. I mean, like Paul Pierce said, I mean, it was one of the best lines I've ever heard. He's got a relationship podcast, even though he's been divorced 6 times. Is one of his buddies, he claimed that his side pieces saved his relationship, saved his marriage. Oh, you think, Paul? Yeah, of course he did. Oh, yeah. That's great advice.
You don't even want to get me into the science of the massage parlor culture. That saved more marriages than relationship counselors.
Yeah, I mean, it saved a franchise. Shout out to Robert Kraft.
Shout out to Kraft. He's in my act.
Yeah, shout out to Bob Kraft. But Mike, I just want to give the people like just a little bit of background of who you are, what you do, who the fuck is Mike Young. That's one of my favorite lines. But I mean, bro, you're a comedian that's toured with Bob Saget, obviously, Dave Chappelle, now working with Sebastian. You've produced movies, TV shows. You're a writer. Like I always say about myself, jack of all trades, master of none. But What,
Yeah,
like, how
man.
the hell did you come up, just who the fuck we were? Because, we've only started this show probably 2 years ago, but I remember you hit me up and being like, yo, you guys are funny. I'm like, who is this guy? Like, he's, touring around. He's a comedian. And I'm like, you were like the first person that actually showed us kind of love in the scene of comedy and acting and things like that. So I just wanted to just give the people a little bit of kind of intel on that.
Yeah, so quick background on me, and then I'll get to how I found you. But
Yep.
yeah, I started in stand-up comedy. You know what I mean? Start literally stand-up comedy at the Comedy Store, open mic nights. 20, 21 years ago, every Sunday doing 6 minutes. You know what I mean? And then sort of quickly got into the stand-up world. Joe Rogan took me on the road for 2 years. Had a great run with Rogan. Got a couple development deals in the comedy world, but always kept writing scripts, writing movies. So about 8 to 10 years into my stand-up life, I wrote this movie, My Man is a Loser, with John Stamos and Michael Rappaport. They let me direct the movie. So from stand-up, I got into writing and directing. And then for the next 5-6 years after that, I'd made like 3 or 4 more movies. So really everything for me came from stand-up comedy. It's my passion. It's my love. But now I've been writing and directing for a while now, still doing stand-up as much as I can. And it's just been a great fun run. And about a year ago, or no, maybe 10 months ago, whatever it was, my nephew, who's a hockey player, my nephew Cameron, who's just a hockey fanatic, played AAA, played, Honey Baked and all, was coming up with his, and you know how you hockey guys are, just funny locker room dudes, a gang of, just a gang of hilarious meatheads all hanging out. He was like, Uncle Mike, you gotta check these guys out. So I started watching you guys, and I always was saying, even in my like writing world and like with friends of mine, I'm like, yo, people don't know how funny like hockey culture is. They just don't know, because for some reason hockey hasn't been able to like fully break through the way it's supposed to. You know what I mean? And I think it's coming, but it's been a while. But long story short, Cameron turned me on to you guys. I just thought you were hilarious. So I reached out. I was like, yo, you guys are funny as hell. If you ever think about taking this podcast on the road, I'm in the comedy world. You should take it on the road. Little did I know, Swish was going to hit me up 9 times a day and go, if you don't introduce me to these comedy club bookers, we'll never talk to you again. So now it's become like, now I'm basically like a tour manager. You know what I mean? I thought I was making movies. I'm trying to shoot something in March, but I'm not sure if I have time because I got to talk to Swish 5 times a day. With that being said, I just think you guys are hilarious. And my nephew Cameron is the one that really turned me on to you. And, I've been checking it ever since. And I think if you just keep doing what you're doing and don't even really worry about it, it's just going to keep going that way. And it's all good, by the way. That at this point, I'm like, you know what? Let me just put you on with the owner of the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We appreciate
it's
that.
like,
Man.
I see the different personalities going on here. Like, Gucci's laid back. He's hilarious, in his own right. He doesn't want to get too involved in the negotiations with the comedy club. Swish is like, hit him with an 80-20 door deal. If we can do that split, everything after 1,000, we keep in the pocket. Keep your chin down. Tell him to call me back. If not, tell him forget it. We don't get a weekend in Tempe. I don't speak to anybody. I'm like, yo, this is becoming a real thing.
Yeah, Mike, we got a good thing going over here. Usually how it goes is we just rotate bothering the shit out of people. For example, we have a nicotine pouch deal, and we pretty much had to threaten the guy, hey bro, if you don't renew, we're gonna go somewhere else. So then maybe I'll get, be up his ass, no diddy on that. So we kind of just rotate back and forth, annoying the shit out of people. But that's how it goes, man. And like Mike, honestly, first of all, shout out to Cameron for turning us on to you and then you to us. I don't want to speak for Swish, but for me, I've been called a shithead and a loser for 10 years that has nothing going for me. So for you to kind of reach out to us and give us a chance and give us that connection with the comedy clubs, that's huge, because we were going into bars and we'd go into these bars as a hockey show and we basically do a comedy act and they're just like, these guys, fucking get them out of here. So the bars are kind of like, they're not always as familiar with like a comedy act, but when we're in these comedy clubs, they've seen it all. So the connection to the clubs has been really cool. So just want to give you your flowers for those connections and being a part of this thing.
My pleasure, man. And I know it's going to only get better, and I know it could seem frustrating at times, right? Swish, you're like, we'll sell out the Wilbur in 9 minutes. These guys, and you will eventually sell out the Wilbur. But like, these comedy guys and these theater promoters, they got like shit backed up for like a year. You know what I mean? So you just got to be a little patient, but I wouldn't even think about anything other than just staying funny, doing your thing. And stay on these guys, you know what I mean? Because you are selling tickets and it's moving in the right direction. So come on, bro. I'm going to end up opening for you. It's like, here I go. Rogan, I opened for Saget for 13 years. I'm opening for Sebastian in front of 20,000 people. Then I'll be opening for Home by 3. I'll stay as an opener, bro. I'll take money off all angles.
Yeah, and we appreciate it, Mike. And I do hit you up like an ex-girlfriend just because I just want to win so bad. So I appreciate you staying with it and laughing it off. But I'm gonna keep coming at your chin, no Diddy that way. I'm gonna be on you like white on rice, baby.
Let's go, bro.
So hey, now this is take 2 because somehow it got lost in the Epstein files. Our take 1, but I just want to say, like, Bob Saget, touring with him had to be unbelievable. I mean, you've toured with obviously a lot of the greats, but Bob Saget, my first year or second year pro, I was playing for the Chicago Wolves in the jungle, American Hockey League, playing out of Rosemont, just outside of O'Hare. But we'd always go into the city. And one night we happened to slide down to the city just off of Halstead in Illinois. Went to Bub City. Now, Bub City was a bar that was live music. They had House Fireball. It was just a great vibe. It still is. It's a great just live music joint. So we get in there, the Chicago Wolves, there's probably, 10 of us, rat pack of dudes in there. And we're just standing around. And all of a sudden, some guy gets on stage. And it's Bob Saget. And I'm like, oh, my God. Like, fuck, that's Saget up there. And he tells the band, he's like, play the song, Should I Stay or Should I Go? And Bob Saget not only does Should I Stay or Should I Go, he absolutely kills it. He does it on repeat 2 or 3 times to the point where it gets to the end of the song and he's like toe tapping, like, should I stay or should I go? And he's got the rock face and there's veins popping out of his neck. And, he's mid-50s and just rocking out. And it was unbelievable. I think he was there by himself. Or maybe like, there was a group around him, but I just remember that scene will always live with me with Saget on stage at Bub City and the crowd going wild. And when he got off stage, there was a Saget chant for probably a minute straight. Talk about the man. Lost him a few years ago, but an unbelievable character he seemed like, right? And a great friend to you.
Yeah, I mean that's a great story, and that basically encapsulates Bob's whole aura. Like Bob, he didn't let a microphone go. If there's a mic in the house and a band nearby or a DJ close by, Bob was gonna sing. Everywhere we went, if we went and played Nashville, we'd pop over to some country bar where like some famous singers would be there. Next thing you know, Bob's doing a 3-song medley. He loved singing. He fancied himself a rock star. I toured with him for 13 years, man. So I saw Bob do stuff like that all the time. He loved being Saget. You know what I mean? Bob loved that he was Bob Saget. He was like 2 people. Bob was like humble, gracious Bob, but also loved that he could keep a restaurant or a bar open till 2:00 in the morning because he was Bob Saget, And he probably loved the fact that you guys were all chanting his name.
For sure.
But yeah, man, touring with Bob was like one of the greatest gifts ever. And I met Bob through my friends who had, the show Entourage. So Entourage, obviously, was a big hit. And my buddy Doug Ellen, I had an office with Entourage. I was punching up jokes and just kind of coming up with storylines. I wasn't officially writing on the show because I had a deal with another TV network. But I was writing, and one day, Saget was getting ready to be on Entourage. And Doug's like, you got to meet Bob Saget. You guys would be great. You should tour with him. So I really didn't think much of it. But when I was playing Tempe Improv, Saget was coming the next day. And so I stayed in Tempe an extra day, and I bum rushed him in the green room. I'll never forget. Bob was by himself chilling in the green room because he always liked to just like get his head straight. Quiet, clean green room, like nothing crazy. And I just rolled in. I was like, hey, man, Doug Ellen says we should we should meet. Maybe one day I could open for you. We talked for a little bit. He's like, you know what? Next week, why don't you open for me in Milwaukee or wherever we were going? And next thing I know, I opened for Bob one weekend. Bro, that became 13 years of nonstop opening for Saget. And it was just everything happened, bro. I mean, everything. That was the first time I ever got triple teamed. I mean, shit went down on the road with Bob. For me, he was married, then divorced, then remarried. Like I watched Bob go through, single Bob, married Bob. But for me, maybe I was engaged for like a year or so of our run. But bro, I had the most fun you could ever have just on the road with Saget. I miss him. He was a great dude. He was a great dude.
Yeah, Mike, taking it back to in your career too, I just want to let the people know when you were grinding these open mics, and we talked previously about this, but you were, getting up 5 nights a week, maybe even more, I think you said, for years. What was the moment like when like a Joe Rogan sees your act and he's like, hey man, let's go on the road? Was that like a weight lifted off your shoulders? Like, hey, all this hard work paid off. What was that like for you on the come up and just grinding open mics until you finally get a break? Just walk us through what that was like. Cause I always get interested kind of like the come up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man, I was a grinder, bro. I was 5 nights a week playing, coffee shop, restaurant, bar, like anywhere, comedy store, laugh at, open mic. And so I started to kind of get my groove on for a couple years, and I was starting to get laughs, and I was kind of always just starting to gain a little bit of momentum just in the comedy club. And one day I'm in the back of the comedy store, straight up, I'll never forget it. And Joe Rogan had Fear Factor going on. And he was just starting to get into the UFC stuff. Like he wasn't even being paid for it, but he was such like a, ultimate fighting guy that they already knew him. And so one day Rogan comes to me in the back of the comedy store and he's like, hey man, you're really funny. I'm like, yo, thanks, Joe. And he's like, I got a couple gigs on the road. You want to come open for me? So I went from like literally playing 9 people on the Sunday night in the Original Room Comedy Store. You know what I mean? 9 of them. 2 might be homeless. One's hammered. One's a prostitute. You don't know what it's going to be. To Rogan taking me to Vegas and playing the House of Blues Vegas at the Mandalay Bay, 2,000 people. And I remember kind of like trying to like hide my enthusiasm. You know what I mean? Like kind of try to act like I belong here. But even to this day, I don't even know where I belong. Like I'm still excited just to be getting paid to do the shit I love. So I remember when Rogan took me to Vegas, I remember I said to the guys at the green room, they're like, hey, what would you like to drink? I'm like, I like, añejo tequila. So I'm thinking they're going to like bring me my like little glass of tequila. Bro, they brought me a bottle of tequila. Fuck it. I thought I hit the jackpot. I made it. It was over. I'm like, yo, you asked for tequila, you get a bottle? This is the greatest job in the world. And so
and then you end up back with the prostitute later and you're like, what the hell? But no.
Bro, listen, the Rogan crowds are different than the Saget crowds, are different from the Sebastian crowds. So the Rogan shit was like, that was like high school. You know what I mean? There could be a fight. Somebody could challenge Rogan because they feel like a tough guy. Like shit could go down on the road with Rogan. We always had one. Joe always had one security guy who was like trained in like 11 different martial arts. You know what I mean? We never really had to worry. We had like one assassin with us. But Joe took me on the road for like over a year, man. And it was me, Joe, and for like 10 shows, it would be me, Joe, and Joey Diaz, right? Wow. Like the funniest dude in the world. Joe, and I don't know if you guys know Joey Diaz.
That guy's, he's popping 1,000 milligrams of edibles and just going on stage just higher than the cost of living.
Dude.
Yeah.
And so, Joey D, Mike Young, I can get you $4,000 for your Honda Accord door right now. You know what I mean? Like literally, he's fucking hustling. He's making moves on the road. Joey Diaz. I like to hang after the Rogan shows because I like to, like talk to girls and you're going to the club, the bar. I wanted to live the life, Diaz would go back to his room. You didn't see him again. He'd go back to his room, you know what I mean? Eat half a pound of weed and a brownie. And you don't see him till the next day at a show.
Bang
But
down
I
an 8 ball,
love
watch Discovery Channel.
100%. But
Yeah.
Rogan liked to go out for a while too. While he before he got engaged and before he got married, he was single for like maybe a minute on the road. But we had a great time, man. And I haven't been on Joe's show, which is fine. But like, I will always love Rogan for putting me on the road for a year and just getting my chops down. You know what I mean? Like, kind of just, it's repetitions, man. It's getting
For
your
sure.
reps in.
Yeah, and speaking of like lifestyle, and a lot of people that watch this show is because it's 99% dudes love the show Entourage, and you had a big part of that, and just the crew you were rolling around with in Hollywood, Mike, and just wanted you to talk about that a little bit. Just being in the writers' room, being good friends with Doug, being around Leo, Kevin Connolly, those guys, like it was
Yeah.
based modeled around like that crew of dudes. Like when you showed up to LA, I'm pretty sure you met these guys just hooping. Like you met them
That's
on the wood.
exactly. Bro, it was like the craziest thing. I was every night, like I said, Comedy Store. And one of my boys was like a little edgy, maybe a little shady. He was running the newsstand on Sunset Boulevard, selling newspapers and weed at the same time. He would
Damn.
always
kinds
come
of
over
paper.
to the yeah, exactly. He would always come over to the Comedy Store. So we just became good friends. He grew up in LA. He grew up in like Echo Park, like around Leo as a kid. And so it sounds crazy, but one day he was like, "Yo, bro, can you hoop?" And I was, from Detroit, but you know how like in high school you couldn't play hockey and basketball; they were the same season. So I
Yeah.
picked hockey, which I was much worse at, but I loved it more. But I always stuck with basketball, so I could hoop. So he brings me to play basketball at like, I'm not even kidding, at like the Jewish Center on Little Santa Monica in Beverly Hills. And I go in there, it's freaking my team, no joke, is Leonardo DiCaprio, Kevin Connolly, Nick Cassavetes, Lucas Haas. It's like the who's who of Hollywood. And I'm playing point guard. And so next thing I
Oh my
know, we play hoops. They bring me back for like a bunch of games. And this becomes like my crew in LA. And I was just like a lucky dude from Detroit who just I got, I didn't like act like I didn't belong. I just kind of like rolled in with the crew, didn't want to be too disruptive, kind of knew my place. And next thing I know, bro, Leo's assistant's like, "Mike, pack your bag for 3 days. You're going on a private plane to Miami. Don't ask when you're coming back." I'm like, holy shit. I'd be calling my boys in Detroit like, "Yo, you're not going to believe what's going on here." And so that was like, I had like a 15-year run of the most fun shit. And so I would go into like the Entourage offices and just kind of tell Doug what we did that weekend. And a lot of the stories that ended up on Entourage kind of came from real life stories, that I would pipe in on. And Kevin Connolly obviously was good friends with Leo his whole life. And so it was really like it was an organic way to tell stories. But my road through LA has been a wild ass ride. Like I couldn't have imagined, doing the things I did. But all that being said, and all the fun that I had and still continue to have, number one priority is like comedy, writing, make sure my business shit is taken care of. Because even the funniest shit would be, I didn't tell the guys at the Comedy Store that I was friends with those guys. So I would like do a show with Sebastian, and this is 20 years ago. I do a show with Sebastian and Brett Ernst and Bobby Lee, and they're like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm just going home." I'd walk down to the corner on Sunset, and Leo would pick me up in a Prius. He was like the first guy with a Prius in the whole world.
What?
He'd pick me up in a fucking Prius, and we'd roll to the clubs, and I would live like the club life. And then eventually I told like Sebastian and everybody, "Yeah, bro," because they saw me one time. Like they saw me at like going into a club. And Sebastian's so funny. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing with Leonardo DiCaprio?" And I'm like, "All right, bro, these are my friends. Maybe I'll invite you out one time." He's like, "I don't want to go." He's like, "I don't know what I would say." But eventually I introduced Sebastian. I brought him up to Leo's for pickleball, and I kind of blended the worlds a little bit. But yeah, man, it was a freaking crazy. It was a crazy run, but at the base of all of it was like making sure I was good at stand up, good at writing, and not losing focus. Because believe me, a lot of people in that group, you could just lose focus and say, "Fuck it, my job is just to go on vacation."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it could get slippery. But I knew being from Detroit, my number one priority was work, because otherwise, I'm from that blue collar shit.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, your job just becomes quickly. You just might just be the guy just doing dust, that's never good.
Yo, by the way, we weren't even a dust crew. Like, that was the
Oh, you're
funny
just
thing.
you're just playing an all natural game. You're playing grass
Bro, I
fed
was fucking all natural. I might have taken 2 years off drinking even.
wow. That's like, so you're California sober.
Yeah, I was Cali sober for a minute. I might have hit the weed, but like, yeah, we were a healthy crew, but I would be lying. I would be lying if I didn't say, private plane to Vegas, for an opening of a new hotel. And next thing you know, 75 girls that just came out of a cage in the basement are walking around our room, and we're going, where the fuck did these girls come from?
Yeah, where's the Z-Packs at?
Yo, bro, I got a Z-Pack on me right now.
Yeah. Hey, but the story and the scene from Entourage of the fellas sneaking into the Playboy Mansion, like, you actually live that, no?
Yeah. I mean, Doug talks about it, so I could talk about it. But yeah, that story of drama sneaking in the mansion came from me. Because one night, this really I've been to the mansion a bunch of times, obviously, like with Leo and those guys. But one time, Doug invited me to the mansion. Like, Entourage was the hottest shit ever. I'm going with Doug, the creator of the show. He's like, we're going to the mansion. Bro, I'm not kidding. I'm fucking in my robe. It's the Midsummer Night Dream Party, which is the sickest party the mansion ever had at the height of it all. So I'm in my little fake silk robe, pacing around, sipping tequila, getting a little buzz going, because I know I got to just you can't go into the mansion fully sober because it's too overwhelming. So I'm getting ready. Doug's supposed to pick me up in like 20 minutes. He calls me. He's like, yo, you're not going to believe this. I'm like, what's up? I'm ready to go. I got my robe on. Let's go. Come on. He's like, you're not going to believe this. I had to give your ticket to David Schwimmer. I go, fuck that, bro. I go, there's no way Schwimmer's taking my ticket. I'm going to the mansion. He's like, Mike, I'm so sorry. I had to give your ticket to Schwimmer. I forgot that I promised him the ticket. I'm so sorry. I'm like, you can be as sorry as you want, bro. There's no way I'm not getting into the mansion. So I had heard from like some other dudes that there was like a part of the fence. This sounds crazy. There was a part of the fence at the back of the mansion. So like the main mansion is where like there's like 1,000 people like in this one area. Then there's like a bunch of land where like they tell you don't even stare at the ostrich, but there's like ostriches and weird animals and shit walking around. And then beyond that, there's like the fence that goes to like Sunset or one of those main like streets by Westwood. And I heard there was a loose piece of fence that you could sneak in if you were smooth. Bro, I freaking snuck in the mansion. I had my boy drop me off at the loose fence. I looked around. I could see like 25 yards away security, and everybody was like deep back. Bro, I fucking rolled into the mansion. No joke. I snuck into the mansion. I fucking dusted my shit off, and I just rolled right in, boom, and had just like the best night. I came back and I saw Doug. I was a little upset. We didn't spend a lot of time at that mansion party, but but I ended up having a great time. The mansion, bro, was some place where you just like you collected as many phone numbers as you could.
Right.
Yeah.
Like networking.
It was networking, but it was like also like it's like how you like get ready to hibernate. You're never gonna be at some shit like this again for a while. You have to get as many numbers to get you through the year as you can. And so I snuck into the mansion, told Doug the story. He wrote in that episode of drama sneaking into the mansion. I didn't go in a trunk. I didn't go in the back of a trunk like Doug wrote, but I snuck in.
That is crazy. It's crazy that was you. Like the title of this episode is "Who the fuck is Mike Young?" And now people are finding out all the connections that you had to like an incredible show like Entourage. It's actually, I was always wondering like how the hell did they come up with this shit and it's just the life that people were really living. Like, it's crazy.
They were living it. And it became more of like Leo's world, because Wahlberg, who was, an executive producer and a creator on the show, Mark was really, his crew was a little too rough to just tell a straight up story. Like Mark's crew was like South Boston, like every episode would have been a bar fight, get high, beat someone up, get out of jail.
They would have been beating up Asian people in the street and stuff like that.
Bro, I remember seeing Wahlberg, and Mark is like he is a tough dude. I remember one actor dude at a club one night, and Wahlberg was kind of like known because he always had good weed. Like there was a time when Wahlberg would like just like smoke good weed all the time.
Yeah, that good vibrations weed, that's sticky.
Yo,
dude, yeah.
That shit from shirtless.
Alpha.
OG shirtless before Bert Kreischer ever took a shirt off.
Damn, yeah, no nipple rings either.
But I remember this actor. We were in like a booth somewhere, and this actor said like some weird, crazy shit, and Wahlberg just rolled up on him, and he just goes, I'll kill you, right? And I remember going, oh, Wahlberg is he's really about that. He's on site. Yeah. He's really about his South Boston shit.
Yeah, South Boston, man, when they're not on Xanax or perks, like they are just like, they're like a moose in the wild. Like they'll stomp you out for no reason.
Oh, yeah. I mean, his brother, Donnie Wahlberg, that guy's a fucking living raccoon. You know what I mean? 1 minute he's tame, and the next minute he's ripping at your throat. Like he's in the garbage, just trying to fucking go at your jugular. It's like, Donnie, I said, what's up, dude? Like,
I didn't know about that South Boston shit till I met Wahlberg. They're scrappy, bro. Like Detroit, we're scrappy in our own way.
Yeah.
But like, they got, every now and then they'd have like a new friend come out. Like that's where they also got the episode where, remember, Dom gets out of jail.
Yeah.
On Entourage.
Yeah, that guy annoyed the shit out of me. He was like so annoying.
Yo, that's Dominic Lombardozzi, who's a great actor, man, and a fucking funny dude. But that episode came from like real life shit, because like Wahlberg, I think, had like a friend that came out of jail and just wanted to hang out everywhere. Mm-hmm. And he just kept ruining every party he went to. You know what I mean? Getting in a fight, disrupting everything. Like, yeah, bro, it was real. It was life imitating art at a high level.
So, Mike, when like those guys are writing Entourage and you're kind of helping out behind the scenes, is Doug obviously has the final say, but is it really just people sitting around in a room similar to a hockey locker room or a conference room, and you're just kind of chopping it up, piecing together episodes, storylines, and then Doug's ultimately like, yeah, I like that, we can use that, or like, yo, bro, that's brutal, like that's cheeks. Like, how does that work?
That works. So basically it's a writer's room. So they had a staff of writers. It was Rob Weiss, Brian Burns, Chris Henshey, and Doug was the head of it all. Excuse me. And so Doug would have a whiteboard, like literally a gigantic whiteboard, like a classroom. And all the writers would sit around the table in that room. And they would kind of know where, Entourage was kind of serialized, you know what I mean? Meaning like, episodes would follow each other storyline wise. And so Doug would write, he'd write the beats of the story on the whiteboard. And then you would spitball with the writers. They would come up with different ideas. What if this happened? What if that happened? And then Doug would kind of flush that out. And so they would get the outline on a whiteboard for the episode. And then Doug would just assign the outline to one writer. He'd say, okay, Rob, go write that outline. So then Rob would go write the outline, take him a couple days. He'd come back with the outline, give it to everybody. You go back in that room, you sit, and you give your notes on that outline. And then once that outline was beat out perfectly, like they knew exactly what that story was going to be, then Doug, most of the time, Doug would go and write that script. Because Doug, he was a control guy. Doug, he loved the control, and it was really, he was the boss on that. So usually Doug would go away for 2 or 3 days, and he would write that exact script based on the outline. He would come back, and now you have your script for the next episode. And then it would just keep flowing like that. And then you turn that script into production, right? And then they start breaking it down. Okay, we got to go to this location. It's going to cost us this much money. And it was really a really super collaborative process with Doug at the helm. I mean, Doug was tough, man. I saw Doug throw a remote control so hard at a wall that it stuck in the drywall. I mean, Doug was...
He was playing for keeps.
Yo, Doug was playing for keeps like that, bro. I was with Doug when HBO said they're not making the show,
Damn.
and then the show got greenlit. Like I was with Doug the whole way. When he pitched the show, it was a yes. He wrote it, then they said no. He got Wahlberg involved, then they said go write it again, like go rewrite that pilot. And basically HBO said to Doug, from what I remember, they said just go make it fun and funny. We want to have fun. We want wish fulfillment. And so Doug went by himself alone to Palm Springs, California, alone. And he came back with a fun, funny script for the pilot. HBO greenlit it, and it was game on, bro. And that was I learned so much just being in those writers' rooms, just as a writer. You learn how, you just see on the front lines how a TV show gets made and, the politics, the bullshit, but really the creative force that it takes to get something like that done. And so, yeah, man, I watched those guys go from obscurity to where fucking Jerry Ferrara couldn't walk around. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For sure.
Turtle, it was wild.
Yeah.
What's that?
I said Turtle, what an absolute character on that show too. He was good. I like back in the day, I remember people would always be like critiquing the acting and everything like that. Like it was just such an entertaining show. And I didn't think the acting was bad at all. I thought it was an awesome show. Sometimes I feel like with comedies or a series like that, people just nitpick it too much. But like for me, like guys like Turtle and Drama, like all the characters were unbelievable, I feel like.
Yeah, they all had super distinct voices, and a lot of them were based on real guys. Like a few of those guys, like I have a friend who Drama was sort of loosely based on. And so Wahlberg took the real guy golfing with Kevin Dillon before the show started, and they kind of spent time together, and Dillon kind of got his voice down. And that's kind of based on one of our friends who really, really talked like that and would just say the most ridiculous shit. You know what I mean? Yo, bro. You know what I mean? Like, yo, bro, you think I didn't do a 6-episode arc? You know what I mean? Like, our friend would say this ridiculous shit, and Doug was really good at capturing real voices and putting them in. And that's kind of why, like, Adrian's character, Vince was sort of just almost like the middleman. Mm-hmm. He was the middleman, and he didn't have like the powerful voice, if you know what I mean, like the character voice, but like everything around him was a real character. Like Connolly was basically like a version of Connolly, like Doug, before Connolly signed on, he didn't want to act anymore. And Doug Allen was like, you got to introduce me to your boy, Kevin Connolly. He's the perfect guy for this role. I swear to God, Connolly's like, tell him I'm offering. Connolly's like, tell him I'm offer only. He's like, I quit acting because they didn't believe it was going to be anything. Mm-hmm. They didn't know. They literally had no idea what this was going to. Connolly's like, I'm not auditioning for anything. And next thing you know, boom, everybody's got a big house.
Yeah, everyone's got a big house, and yeah, that's crazy. But Mike, I wanted to, like, for you, going back to you a little bit, and the title of this episode is "Who the fuck is Mike Young?" And there's been guys around Hollywood that have worn that hat, but the clip that you've put out a few times, it's like Theo Vaughn, it's Whitney Cummings, Joey Diaz, and Bobby Lee. And for the people that haven't seen it, it's just like every time your name is brought up, people are just dying laughing. So it's just be like, have you always just been like that normal glue guy that people can kind of just resonate with, and you just brought that Midwest to Hollywood and kind of just that feel good guy around Hollywood? Because that's what it seems like when Theo Vaughn is talking about, he's like, Mike Young, dude, he starts like literally geeking out,
Yeah, because I think I just always, like, I'm not like trying to toot my own horn or anything, but I've always just kept it real with shit, and I've always just been my own dude, and I kind of just blazed my own path in LA and Hollywood. And, if I was getting wild at the Comedy Store, yeah, man, I got wild at the Comedy Store and just did some fun, wild shit. But like, I always just, I always kind of kept it real. The reason I put that clip together with everyone saying my name was because I would always get these DMs from strangers going, yo, I just saw Theo Von talking about you. Are you the Mike Young that he's talking about? So then I'd be like, yes, that is me. And then same with Joey Diaz or Whitney Cummings. So I put that clip together, basically going, nobody knows who the fuck I am, but except for like the most famous comedians. Like I need the whole world to know who I am, so I could just be selling tickets in theaters like Sebastian is.
Yeah.
So I put that clip together as a fun thing, but yeah, like Whitney was talking about me because for a minute I was known as like single Mike. Like I was dating a lot of different girls and I was wilding out at the Comedy Store in the heyday of the Comedy Store. You know what I mean? Like we were just having fun. And so I think I probably just got like a little bit of maybe like a little bit of a wild reputation and just kind of a guy who does his own shit and doesn't care. And he's friends with these celebrity guys, but doesn't really talk about it too much. So I look at that. I look at that as a sign of respect that they say my name because, they're not talking bad shit. They're just talking good shit. So I just kind of pride myself on, being from Detroit, doing my own thing, always being known as a good comedian, a good writer, good director. Just as long as my work is on point, they could talk about me all day.
Yeah, I mean, you're in the arena, man. Speaking of in the arena, tonight, you're going to be performing with Sebastian Maniscalco, who's obviously done very well for himself as well. What is your game day routine like, Mike? Like you're in Vegas, you got the big show tonight. Like walk us through what a day is like for you. Is there multiple shows this weekend? What is that experience like? That must be just fucking awesome.
Yeah, man, it's funny because I kind of like that you guys sent me the link. Like I'm gonna relate it to this. Swish sent me the link to this show 82 seconds before I went on.
Yeah.
Which I like because I know as a hockey player, you probably have a vibe, you probably didn't want to overthink your day or overstress yourself out. So like I like to kind of keep it, I get a workout in, right? I drink a lot of water when I'm in Vegas because the shit dehydrates you out here quick. I probably won't talk to anybody starting at around like 4, like showtime. Our first show's at 7:30 tonight. I won't talk to anybody starting at 5 o'clock because my phone's blowing up right now. Can I come backstage? Bro, I get more people wanting to come backstage to meet Sebastian than want to hang out with me. You know what I mean? And I'm like, you ain't coming backstage. You're not meeting Sebastian. You know what I mean? So for me, game day is like live a regular day, do my shit, but about 2 hours prior to game time, I cut off the world. I get in my headspace. I look over my notes. You know what I mean? Like I got, this is my act.
Oh,
yeah.
Shit.
You know what I mean? I just kind of like review my act.
Yep.
I review my stuff. I just get in like a clean headspace. I do a couple deep breathing exercises before I get on stage. And, then I just kind of flow into it, and just try to be in the moment because you can overthink it.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. And Mike, I wanted to ask you, because I just think that the green room is such a sacred place where you're in the arena and it's quiet, or some people are different. You talk about like Chappelle, he's probably smoking and drinking. There's guys that like to listen to tunes. There's guys that like a lot of people around them. For me personally, I kind of like a mix of, some tunes going, but also getting locked in and being loose at the same time. So I'm getting into that flow state university. For you, what's that like? Like the green room to me, man, like that's what I love. I love the green room. Like I live for it. It's the locker room of comedy, and it's that place where you're just gearing up to go out there and just fucking kill it, talk your shit. So for you, what's the green room like?
For me, for me on the road with Sebastian, I get my own nice, beautiful room at the Wynn, my own green room. Sebastian's down the hall. I leave him alone. He likes to be alone he likes to really be alone with his fruit plate and his organic turkey. And I'm in my room with my triple espresso ready to go, my fruit plate so I keep it healthy and light on stage. I start to play music and I keep my music chill. I'm like a sad song guy, right?
Okay.
So like before I go on, I like to like kind of lower the heart rate, You know what I mean? Play just like a song list of chill music,
Yeah, a little
pace around
Billie
a little
Eilish.
bit. No Billie Eilish, bro. I take it way deeper than Billie Eilish. I'm talking like Bright Eyes, Conor Oberst shit, like
Oh god damn,
real
baby.
sad shit,
Yeah.
depression.
Let's get depressed before we go out there.
I like to get depressed before I go on.
Yeah.
You know,
All the feels.
all the feels. And I just kind of pace around a little bit. I look at my notes because let me see. I'll take them from like I'll take it from the yellow legal pad to like the notepad. I mean to the index cards. And I'll kind of just like look over my index cards so they're in my brain. I'll fill my head up with all my bits. I pace around a little bit. You know, a couple hellos to people that come back. Sometimes with Sebastian, you know, like a couple celebrities want to meet him or say hi to him. And so, you know, it's not like, it wouldn't be weird if like a couple pro athletes showed up and, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. But, you know, 15, 20 minutes before I go on stage, I'm alone and I just wait for the stage manager to bring me out. And then you do that cool walk, that walk where, you know, there's 7,000 people sitting, chilling, ready to hear you do your thing. So
damn, 7,000. God damn.
Yeah,
Dude.
tonight's going to be really dope. And plus the Win is such a class act.
Oh yeah.
That it's like, it's always, knock on wood, it's just always been great because these are like real human beings. They pay real money. You got to give them a great show. We're not fucking around. You know what I mean? You got to come with your A game. And so I just look forward to like, let's go, you know, let's go. And I always go back to this one phrase, and I tell people this all the time. It's like, express, don't impress, if that makes sense. Like, make sure I'm in my zone of comedy and I'm expressing what I need to say as an artist. Because if you try to impress, you're just doing some bullshit that's not, you're just trying to impress.
You can't force it.
You can't force it.
Yeah,
so
and I feel I was just gonna say, I feel like if you're, you know, when you're expressing too, like, you know, you're funny, you know, and that's a huge thing. I think being on stage, you know, on our illustrious 15 show career is you gotta, man, you gotta believe you're funny. You can't get up there and just feel like, or give the audience that body language that you're trying out a joke. And especially in improv, like, you gotta say that shit with your chin.
Correct. You got to sell it with confidence.
Yes.
You got to know you're good. And yeah, man, I mean, you know, look, I'm humble, but I also know I'm good at my shit. You know what I mean? Like, I know at this point, like, I could fight for a title. You know what I mean? I'm ready to fight for a title.
Well, yeah, it's like being a fighter, man. All those guys a lot of them, you meet them and they're really humble. Like, I met Bernard Hopkins one time and he was such a nice, humble guy. But like, when he goes in that ring, he's like, dude, I'm the best fighter of all fucking time. Like, no one's ever going to touch me. So it's a kind of like, it's almost like being a fighter without, you know, getting beat up.
Bro, yo, boxing's like the best analogy for this. You know what I mean? Because the crowd is your opponent, you know, but they're also, you're with them, right? So you got to know when to pull back, know when to hit them hard. You know what I mean? Know when to feel it out. It's a good metaphor for what we do, for sure.
Yeah, you got to know in your head, like, I'm the best. Like, you got to tell yourself that pretty much.
Yeah, and I do, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I do tell myself that. You know, I do tell myself I'm the best version of me. Like, all you can do is be the best you. You know?
For sure, man. I mean, walking out in front of 7,000 people is not easy. Even when we're doing it, like a few hundred, it feels like an arena full of people. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah, these people just chomping at the bit, just, you know, all goofed up on Colombian. They're drinking all day. They're like living and dying at what you're gonna say. It's an exhilarating feeling, man. It's that same feel that I get stepping on the ice for a big game. It's like, here we go. You know, let's
right. And it probably took you a while before you were relaxed, like coming in, like before you got your routine down, right? Like,
for sure,
coming out for a pro game and all those people, it had to hit you. You know, your heart had to be racing in the beginning, and then you know, it affects your game for a minute. You got to figure out, how do you get in a relaxed flow state, whatever that is for you. So for me, it's that chill time, it's that music, and then it's just a couple deep breathing exercises that just lock me in, and I'm fucking going out there zen.
Yeah. For me, it's a Pellegrino and a Cialis, and I'm locked in.
Yo, who doesn't take Cialis before they play? I mean, you got to. They didn't know the benefits they had for everything.
We used to I used to play with this guy. He played like 15 years in the league, not going to say his name, but he would take a Cialis before every game. It's like, dude, are you trying to get hard in your cup? Like what's going on here?
Yo,
like,
by the way, did he even have an answer for that? Like, what was that? He's like, I'm really fucking people up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's going gay porn hard for sure.
Right. Holy whatever that
Mike,
show.
my last question for you. You know, you produce movies, you produce TV shows. Stealing Jokes is your latest one on Netflix or Amazon or Hulu or one of the 15 streaming apps, I believe. But we gotta do a hockey movie, man. Something between like a mix between Four Brothers and Slapshot is what I'm thinking.
Yo, Swish, I got one on the table, and I almost don't want. I'm not gonna say what it is.
Don't say it. Yeah, don't say it.
Because someone will snatch it up. I got you, bro. I got a hockey movie because hockey is getting more popular. Like the Four Nations is making it popular. That TV show is making it popular. I forgot the name, but I heard.
Heated Rivalry.
Heated Rivalries, right? Making it popular. But like hockey is about to get its due in the entertainment world again, and it does need it needs a movie. But I got one. But yes, by the way, it's so funny because you're like, Mike Young is an actor. He's a writer. He's a producer. But this is why people go, who the fuck is Mike Young? Because you do leave out director. And I am a director.
Well, I mean, how many? What do you also want? You want me to say gardener too? You got 45 jobs, Mike. You know,
no.
Amateur hockey player.
I only have 3 jobs: writing, directing, and comedy.
Well, I was on your IMDb page and it was 4 pages long. It was longer than a Cheesecake Factory menu. What do you want me to do?
No, I appreciate you attempting, but no, as a director is the other thing that I do.
Yeah.
But that's like directing is a heavy lift. It's like I'm a little bit of a control freak when it comes to the stuff I write, so I like to direct it. I like to direct the stuff I write, but yeah, man, Stealing Jokes. That's my latest movie, and it's a comedy heist film. I wrote it because I always wanted to rob a comedy club because I felt like so many comedians were getting taken advantage of financially that I was like, what if we rob this place? So I wrote a movie about it, and it's a fun movie. It's like you said, it's on all the streaming platforms.
I love it. Well, Mike, we're gonna have to get you back on, brother. We don't want to keep you for too long here. This has been unbelievable. Thank you for popping by, and also as a friend now, thank you for all the help you've done for us over here at HB3. Honestly, getting us connected into the comedy clubs, meeting different people, putting us on 95 group chats, emails. Seriously, brother, you didn't have to do that. So just you're a good dude and a good chin, and a guy that's literally been the only person kind of in that scene to show us love. So, man, it doesn't go unnoticed.
Thank my nephew Cameron for that.
Yeah,
Cameron, and Mike, thank you, Cameron, and the belief in us, it means a lot. It really does.
No, bro, you guys are legit funny. You don't have to ask anybody if you're funny. You don't have to even question that shit, bro. You guys have because funny is a unique voice. When you have a unique voice, and you guys together have you just have very unique. Nobody really talks like that. You're casually fucked up, is what I would say. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's accurate.
Like you deliver the funniest shit. It's almost like if Stephen Wright could be a hockey player. You know, remember Stephen Wright, like the legendary comedian?
Mm-hmm.
He would deliver deadpan stuff, but it was the funniest. You guys have a deadpan humor, bro, that is really, it's going to do you well. So just, Swish, keep bugging the shit out of me with these fucking club owners.
I will.
You know what I mean? And keep getting your 80-20 door split. Don't worry about it.
We want 90 now.
Yeah,
yesterday's price ain't today's anymore.
Yo, no, no, you're gonna end up just getting 100% of the door sooner.
I'm gonna start going to these fucking clubs and saying I don't even want anything off the top. I just want equity, motherfucker. I'm gonna buy your club before you even know it. I'm gonna have 51% stake, and I'm walking through the door.
Yeah, no, I see it. I can already see it. But don't be afraid to use all your relationships in the hockey world. Get all these dudes. I don't know how, hockey guys, you guys are funny. You're you don't like to ask favors, or you don't like to, you got beef with a couple guys in the league. I don't know how it goes, but just they're not gonna be able to stop you from doing your shit anyway. But it doesn't hurt to ask
for sure.
help.
Yeah, guys they're so buttoned up. Like we got a bunch of buddies in the league, but it's like if we go on your show and you guys are talking about porn, dust, and hookers, it's like now their PR team's coming after them. But we've had a decent amount of guys on, and we definitely are. We know that they're listening too.
Yeah.
From GMs to coaches to players. So,
Yo, bro,
always say-
Lemieux. I told you Lemieux hired me to perform at the Mario Lemieux Foundation. I told you that, right?
I didn't know that.
Bro, I got to skate for 5 days. I got all the equipment still. I'm coming back, bro. I'm making a big comeback.
It's never fucking too late, Mike. Mike, we'll definitely do this again. I think we should do it in person one of these times, just to chop it up. We'll get
for sure.
We'll get a studio type feel set up, and over the screen this was great, but in person we got to make that happen.
Can't wait, man. I'll book myself at the Tempe Improv, give you guys the full door. I'll walk away with nothing. I'll walk away with nothing but a podcast recording.
Yeah, that's
maybe if the file gets saved.
We'll get you some Dasani, yeah.
Appreciate you.
All right, Mike. I appreciate you, bro.
Okay, thank you, fellas.
Yo, have fun tonight, Mike.
Okay, peace.
We have we got Luke Willson if we want him
right now.
Yeah.
All right, let me check the battery on the camera, folks. That was Mike Young. Like we said, guys, one of the only guys in that scene that has given us an ounce of belief. We believe in our own chins over here at HB3, but to have him in our corner is huge. And like we said, we actually did that full conversation, and then we kind of lost it. So we're kind of talking over the same shit we were talking about earlier, but we'll definitely get him on periodically or again. And you guys can get to know more about Mike Young, but he's really helped us out. So that's huge for us. Luke Willson.
Yeah. This just in. Luke Willson calling in from San Francisco. I got to take a piss.
Let me check
let's check the battery on the camera, but I wanted to grab him just because he's live, boots on the ground. And he said he went full Chinese mode last night. So yeah, he's hung, he's ready to play. I'll send you
Yep, send me his email over, and then I'm gonna tweet out his email to the public so everybody can hit up Mike Young. A lot of people, while Swish takes a piss, a lot of people don't know this. When I was working in real estate, you have to put your email out there, and then the companies sell all your data. So I get hit up every day. And listen, I have nothing against the Hispanic community, but it's a lot of people with the last name Gutierrez, Jimenez, Hernandez. They hit me up and ask me if I have off-market listings every single day. And the answer is no, I do not have any listings. I actually deactivated my real estate license and went full-time into HB3. So I'm either going to end up homeless or this show is going to end up working out. And I don't exactly know which yet. But hopefully it ends up working out because we got our shows lined up in Philadelphia, April 23rd. Tickets are on sale now. Homebuy3.shop. We got New York City, April 25th. That sold out in a couple hours, actually less. Waiting on a bigger venue. We will know in beginning of April if more New York City tickets are going to open up. If they do, you got to grab them because, guys, it's almost like we always talk about these sponsors. They say, oh, you guys don't have views. You don't have this. You don't have that. But they don't understand it's the size of the dog in the fight. And we have the biggest dog when it comes to the audience. So even though we get 42 views, these tickets do go fast. And now, without further ado, I'm going to email a guy who won a goddamn
Yeah.
Yeah, he did win a Super Bowl.
Won a Super Bowl.
Luke Willson.
Lukey Furta. Yeah. Good chin. Wanted to just grab him on. This just into aggravated assault drop for Gavin McKenna.
No way.
Who tagged a guy's chin. Still faces a misdemeanor court of simple assault. That's assault, brother. And a summary offenses of disorderly conduct. Sounds like a slap in the face and a flick in the chin, if you will. Mike Young, thank you, bro, for joining the program live from the Super Bowl. We are going to bring in our Canadian friend, all-time beauty, tight end, friend of Marshawn Lynch, played for Pete Carroll, way more kills than his quarterback than Russell Wilson. I'll save that one for when he comes on.
Yep, the link has been sent.
I wonder where he's calling in from. The chin of, he's been biking all around the city. He's just a beauty. Folks, again, we're still working on a new nicotine pouch deal. Milan will be there next week. Waste management going on right now. Didn't even know it was going on because we are so dialed, and all we do is talk into a microphone. If we were lazy, if we were lesser people, we wouldn't be here.
This is a show about a show that does its show, that brings in Hollywood director show. We bring in NFL guys. You never know what the fuck you're going to get on this type of show, which is why when we do our theater show,
yes,
you don't know what you're going to get. We might have guests. We might not have a guest. We might not even show up. Now we'll show up. We might perform karaoke the whole show. We're going to need you guys at that. It's going to be sometime in July, the official HB3 SummerSlam SmackDown show, aka the Wrench Fest.
That is the Wrench Fest, confirmed.
But now, without further ado,
here he is, the man. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, here's a guy that we've had the show on, and I don't know if he could hear this because he's backstage, but it was actually our all-time most downloaded show besides Cornbread Bitch, but she's a chick with a massive rack, so that doesn't count. But, well, it does count. But
it does count.
As far as
dudes,
people that aren't showing their tits,
this
was the all-time most listened to episode. And that's all I got. If you
want
the
Wrench House leader, the pride of Windsor, Ontario, Super Bowl champion, played for Pistol Pete Carroll, now working on TSN and then covering the Grey Cup with Farhan Laji, James Duthie. Hell, he's in San Francisco. He's hell when he's well, baby. Way more career kills than his former quarterback, the born-again version, Russell Wilson.
Oh.
Let's welcome into the show our boy, Luke Willson. Fella.
Boys, how we doing? Jesus. How we doing, boys?
I think the question is, how the hell are you doing?
I know I sound a little rough, but I'm doing okay.
Yeah, how is ladies' night during Super Bowl week? I mean, Thursday, obviously you get into the weekend, Friday, Saturday being moving day, but what did we get up to last night? These parties got to be pretty good right now, no?
Yeah, the parties are they're electric. I'll say this, boys, though, and I'm not trying to sound like one of those old boomers.
Yeah,
I'm now kind of graduated away. Like tonight, I'll be at the FanDuel party tonight, but outside of that, when I was in my mid-20s, I used to really try and rip it up at these big events. Now I feel like the key is to go to like the infamous lounge in town. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Stay away from the party and really go to that. You can get let loose a little more, less corporate vibe, if I would say. Is that a fair take?
Oh, it's way more.
100%.
It's way more real, brother. Like the clubs and the massive parties where it's just, you got the charcuterie board, you got the girl walking around with the sliders, and do you want another Manhattan? No, I want to sit at a table with my boys and just be out of the limelight and just really get down to talking shit.
Yeah, that was me last night.
I want to relax on a velvet couch in a dimly lit lounge and just piss my pants because I'm so drunk.
That wasn't me last night, but could be before this weekend's over.
Hey, bro, like, not that you're name dropping it all, but have you seen any like former teammates in and around the area? I mean, famously, my favorite guy, even though he stood me up, is Money Lynch. Like, have we run into any of the old fellas being around in the Bay Area, baby?
I have, I got invited. Marshawn had a party. And quite honestly, I saw the pamphlet for it and I was like, yeah, there's no world in which I'm attending said party. But I saw a couple, other guys, Sherm's been around. That's always a fun one. Yeah. Jermaine Curse is coming in today. It's kind of my guy, but it was kind of, not on a somber note. Not somber because this guy's the biggest rock star I've ever been around, but Ricardo Lockett, haven't seen him in probably 5-6 years. And, he was involved in that last play. So he talked about it a bit yesterday, but it was good to see him just because, boys, I'm not trying to suggest anyone, but you want to talk about a fucking rock star. Okay. Ricardo Lockett moves like no one I've ever seen. Like this guy is still doing it. Just a living legend. So that was pretty fun for me. Yeah, I'd say he was the rock star of the NFL, kind of the underground version during my era.
How about like a guy like Danny Amendola? He seems like he's always like in that mix, you know.
Boys, I got a couple things, man. I gotta get stuff off my chest.
For Danny Whitechin, you know.
Danny
Whitehead.
Whitechin. Yeah. I'll be honest. I gotta give a small shout. A couple of my boys from Windsor, Nikki C being one of them. Another guy who's from Windsor lives in here, Phil. They listen to y'all's pod very religiously, and they've sent me a few clips that I was unfamiliar with. The golf outing that you guys had probably 40 different nicknames was one of the most impressive media feats I've ever fucking seen. I watched that and I said to both my boys, I'm like, yo, as a guy who's in the media, I can't tell you, like, this isn't even scripted. They're just literally humming right now. The talent is, again, pretty, what did you just call Amendola?
Danny Fertidola. Yeah, Fertidola.
Dude, I appreciate you. I appreciate you
it's
calling
incredible.
it talent, because usually people just call it Asperger's. So for you to put that talent, I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's I'm impressed, boys. But I'll tell you this about that Patriots team. I've never really gone out with any of them. They kind of keep to themselves a little bit, man. The whole Patriots way is very most guys I think you see around, it's like, oh, dude, either played with them, played against them, you have some sort of connection. The Patriots guys, no one really crossed paths with them, I would say.
Yeah, it's like a fraternity at Southern Methodist. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
kind of on the outside looking in.
Yeah, it's kind of like being
that's
in the
exactly
lobby of
it.
it's like being in the lobby of a rub and tug. Everyone's just quiet, and no one really talks about it, but they all know what's going on.
100%. Couldn't be more accurate, that statement.
Willie, you know what I love about you? Well, there's a few things, no Diddy on that, but just every time you've had about 4 or 5 drinks, and it seems like it's every other Friday, you'll just text me 90, 90, and then I'll give you a voice note back about 30 seconds wherever I am of the just most ridiculous stretch of me saying 93, 93.
So I've got a small confession.
Yeah. The floor is yours.
Yeah, I find every 93 you've ever sent me to quite honestly be the funniest thing I've ever listened to. We will now go, and it's a bit strange telling people how funny I find it if they're not familiar.
Right.
So the one night I'm like, guys, I would think I was on Twitter and I was flipping through there and I saw a tweet from one of you guys and I spit my water out laughing. I'm dying laughing. I'm like, yo, these guys are the fucking best. So I'm about to go on Jay Onright show and I saw your note and I'm like, boys, he sent me one. So I click it. And it's like 2 minutes straight of you going 90. And I'm like, I've got the suit on. Again, I'm 5 minutes from going live on Jay Onright. And the producers look at me and he's just giving me a look like, what the fuck is the matter with you, Luke? And why do you find this that funny? And I'm just playing it. So yeah, and there is some truth to that. I'll be out, especially if I'm with some Windsor boys.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, I think I'm gonna get Schmaltzy to fucking send us a 90, and I'll just send you the text. It's my favorite thing. You're probably gonna get one tonight, dude.
Yeah, I take the bait every time, and willingly so. I get so fired up.
Luke, he had a Pilates incident where he was on the microphone of an entire Pilates class into the mic. You could explain what happened.
Yeah,
saying 90.
So Willie, I go to this place called Solid Core, and I told it on the pod yesterday. Solid Core is like this reformer Pilates place, and we're on the one side of the moving side of the reformer, and then your leg, one of them left or right is on the side that doesn't move. Just the solid side.
So you're like, are you standing though right now?
Yeah. So I'm in a lunge, but my left leg is on the moving reformer, and my right leg's on the solid side. So the instructor is walking by, and we're doing these carriage lunges, and now it's to the point where she's saying, "All right, guys, we're gonna go 90-90," and she's in the microphone. She's going 90-90. 90-90. And I'm right by her. She's walking by me. I go, 90-90. 90-90. And she's like buying into the bit where she's now saying and kind of smiling and smirking at me, staying right next to me saying 90-90. And I'm like, 93-93. And she's like, looking at me like, huh? I'm like,
no idea what's going on. Like, why is
Totally
this
just like
so the whole time, about 30 or 40 seconds in real time go by, she keeps now playing into the bit even more. She's like, 90-90, no, 90-90. I'm like 93-93, 90-90, 90. So this whole class is hearing me, and it's, mind you, I am the only dude in this class, and there's 15 females just hearing my asshole voice radio style going 90-90. 93-93. It was all time, bro.
Did you drop the .1 though? Because that's still the best part.
I did it. You know what? I will confess, I did not drop the .1.
Oh, dude, the best is the .1. The best. That's my favorite part, dude.
The pause for the .1 where you just, when I go 93-93, 93, 93-93, 93.1.
I find it so fucking funny, dude.
Oh man, you're a beauty.
Yes.
Fucking A. So what the hell you been doing out there, bro? Like you're biking all over the place. You're on the Golden Gate Bridge. Like what? Like is it just TV sets a couple times a day and then
protesting out there? What's going on?
Yeah. So I'll tell you, it's a bit of a trip. I mean, I know you guys aren't. You were up there, I believe, for a show, but Toronto is like fucking Siberia right now.
Yeah.
So part of it was just like getting off the plane. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, there's decent weather here. So yeah, I rented a bike the first few days. It's pretty calm. Like we get here somewhat early. There's the professional side. We do hits, kind of film stuff in the morning, suited and booted. James Duthie is here, in San Francisco. Yeah, big time beauty. So that's good. And then the NFL does like a very good job of what I would say cleaning up cities. Every Super Bowl I go to, I'm like, I know that they come in and basically like do a wild amount of security, and it looks very different probably pre and post Super Bowl week. But I'll say this about San Francisco, and this speaks to the grit of San Francisco. That's being kindly. There's just too much to clean up. Like it's kind of wild because the city's gorgeous. Like it's fun. There's a lot of cool buildings, but like you make the wrong turn down here and you're like, oh my God, bro.
Yeah.
This place is it's kind of nuts, dude. It's a trip.
Yeah, there's only enough bulldozers to just like push all the homeless people down into San Mateo, and then they just end up coming back up. So it's like,
Dude.
It's so funny that they'll clean up the city for world leaders. Like, remember that dude came in for a meeting, like there was like politics shit, and then they'll do it for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what's been a trip though, boys, and maybe this again, I feel like one of those old guys. I didn't know that there's like robot cars here. Maybe it's like
oh yeah, they got those here too, the Waymos.
Yeah. So
yeah,
you guys know shit.
Well, I mean, you guys just got internet in Canada like 4 years ago.
They're like, yo, these cars drive themselves. I go, how do they do that? And they're everywhere. They're a little bit slower. I've been taking them everywhere. Everyone's like, why don't you just get a regular Uber? I'm like, I kind of want the experience, man. I want to sit in the back and be able, like, I was on the phone talking to my boy, dropping some just heinous profanity. I'm like, well, I'm probably gonna record it, but there's no human being to judge me,
Yeah, it's all recorded. It's all recorded, but you can sit in there, you can take your wrench out. It's cool. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, you pull up to like a stop sign and some guy is just, taking the gears to his wife. It's like, dude, come on, man. Like, just save it. Like, wait till you get home and get in your Murphy bed. Like, come on.
It's like, why are the seats so sticky in the back of this Waymo?
The only other weird one about it was we're filming down at like the famous Pier 39. So I've got the suit on. I booked the Waymo back to the hotel. And right now there's a ton of tourists, and I'm sure they're just got off, whatever plane where they came from. So I'm in the back of this Waymo, and there's like 30 people taking photos of the car. I'm like, damn, dude, I feel like such a loser. I'm like, hey, I'm in here, like, take a photo of the other fucking Waymo. That was a tough moment. That was a tough moment for me.
That is so
I saw
funny.
a guy completely naked in the back of a Waymo one time.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh dude, that you can open up that sunroof, and especially here with the UV's good, guys they got their nipples out.
Yeah.
Oh man. Hey, so like we were texting a little bit before, just throughout the week or whatever. You were telling me like the Super Bowl is just a must hit, right? I mean, never been. Obviously, playing hockey for a while, that wasn't even in the cards. But like, where would you say the best Super Bowl city is? I suggested NOLA. You said maybe that's not perfect, but what do you think like the best Super Bowl city would be to go?
Honestly, to me, it's Scottsdale. I know that's probably not
Yeah,
fun for you guys to hear, but Scottsdale would probably be one as far as like fun shit to do goes.
for sure.
Miami to me was too much. Like Miami's already a scene, and then all of a sudden you put the Super Bowl in there, and it just became a bit of a shit show. Again, this is personal. Vegas was brutal for me. I like Vegas, but it was like, Vegas isn't that big. Like the strip is not that. So now all of a sudden you couldn't get like Ubers were like 30-minute waits. Everything was gridlocked. I'm like, it was very tough to move around. So I would go Scottsdale, probably one.
Yeah.
And then two, I would probably say actually LA. And then New Orleans was a sneaky, that place has got a lot of grit now. New Orleans is a sneaky fun one. But boys, if I can make a small suggestion, if I were you guys, I would go to Radio Row. I'd get a little table there and you can just pluck like there's a million NFL guys around.
Yeah.
I think that's the next step for home by 3 because you guys would be electric there, dude. Electric.
I mean, you saw what we did with, for the hardest 9-team league in the world.
That's where exactly. And
yeah.
I saw the tweet. Was it going down to potentially 6?
They're thinking about 6, and the commissioner just suggested that they need to go back to having 2 teams with the same name as well, because that was good for marketing. Then you never know who's playing. If you're a fan of the team, you see, the Rough Riders are playing. Well, maybe our team's on.
Yeah. So if you guys could do what you did for the hardest 9-team league ever, and you're at the Radio Row, I can only imagine the fireworks that would get created at Radio Row.
Dude. And especially down in New Orleans, man, with those, I mean, it's beignets and butt plugs, right? It's just
Is it? Is that what it is?
Yeah, dude.
I've never been there.
That's why they call it the French Quarter, right? It's just to me that intrigues me. Aside from the the 2 B's, I've never been to the city, and I just think that to me New Orleans screams like Super Bowl vibes.
Dude, the city of New Orleans is just, I can't describe. Like you're walking and you're in like the French Quarter, I think they call it, and there's some like gorgeous architectural building with like some dude's name on it, and you're like, wow, like this place looks sweet and really nice and dressed up. And then the next thing is like the most ratchet strip club with the strippers outside, like third base coaches giving you the whole, come on in. And you're like, where am I, bro? What is going on here? Yeah. New Orleans. And then the other stuff that's still stranger is all the like, and I'm probably going to butcher this, but the voodoo shit, like, they're still really into that whole, like, I don't know what the correct term is, but there's like tarot card readings at every corner. I'm like, man, where am I?
Yeah, a lot of white girls with dreadlocks.
Yes, a lot of white girls with dreadlocks, correct, and strange tattoos.
Yeah, you're just trying to order a whiskey, and some dude across the street is like casting a spell on you. It's like, dude, what the fuck is going on, brother? Like, take that Nimbus 2000 and get the fuck out of here.
Yes, and then the very next door is some guy in a 3-piece suit and a bow tie, okay, in like the most fancy situation ever, and you can go get a $50 cocktail. Like it's the city's bizarre to me, but in a good way.
Bunch of different like dimensions, like you're just walking through like different dimensions in the same city. I gotta try this.
Yeah,
I think it's so funny that they're with like they're advertising a car wash and they're spinning signs around to like get in the club. Like that is cool.
I mean,
yeah,
that's marketing 101. Willie, like are the players this week, the guys there, are they really boozing, or is it just more family oriented? I mean, are the single guys running around, or are you pretty dialed in because you're about to play in the Super Bowl, but you still have a week to get there? It's like I would be, temptation. That's real.
So the P squad guys are ripping, especially now. The P squad guys, like I remember that it was always kind of funny because it'd be like, yo, I just got to make it through Friday. So those guys will be humming, especially after tonight. As far as players go, in San Fran, it's weird because the teams are staying far. So like I know Seattle's staying in San Jose, which is
Damn.
not really a nightlife city, obviously.
Oh man.
A lot of dudes.
Yeah, a lot of so what happened with us, because the one we lost was in Scottsdale. You guys will probably know the place. We landed on Sunday, and like all the guys were like, yo, the only night we're fucking going out is Sunday or Monday. Like after Tuesday, shut it down and we'll blow it up after we win, which obviously we didn't win that one. Same thing with New York. Like you land Sunday, some guys might step out then. That Monday night is generally like a little more full beans. And it was a bit weird, but for us the year we won, that was the biggest partying team that I've ever been on. Like, I don't know. I think there's like something to it. I'm not sure if it's similar in hockey, but the year we won, we had a crew of 7 or 8 guys that went out every Friday for home games because we'd be on the road for some of them and got fucking wasted. And when I say wasted, it was like I was a rookie on that team. They'd be like, Luke, when you coming? Like, and they're calling me a pussy and shit. Like, how can you haven't come out with us? And like, not again, this is gonna make me sound like a pussy, but I'm like, dude, quite honestly, I'm scared. Like, I'm 23. I know how this night's gonna end up, and like, you guys just sweat it out Saturday morning, and you're some of the best players on our team. But like, I'm a rookie, and I gotta play, and like, I remember the playbook and shit. So I remember stepping out with them like probably week 13, 14, late in the year, kind of earned my stripes and was in the steam room at 7 a.m. and just like these guys. But it was every week, same thing as Super Bowl. We stopped partying, then we stopped winning. That's kind of how it went.
Yeah, I mean that's baseball is what that is.
Can you give me the definition of that's baseball versus that's porn?
Okay, yeah, that is first of all. And now we're diving deep into the annals of the HB3 dictionary. That is
So off guard.
yeah, and I would tell you the truth. It's like they say the insiders say in hockey, they're 1 for 1. Basically, it's a hockey trade. They work in both instances.
Okay.
Baseball is as much porn as much as baseball. You know what I mean? So where porn comes into play is basically the shock factor of, I want to catch you off guard. Where baseball, I would say, it can be used more in a non-hostile situation, a more neutral situation. But
Okay.
say your buddy comes in and he's like, "Man, I've had a tough day. My gal's yelling at me. I think she might leave me. I don't know when my next paycheck's coming in. Like, it's just been a tough day, fella." You just look at him and go, "That's porn, fella." And he's like, "What?" And so, to tell you the truth, to wrap this whole thing up, I'm not even sure what the difference is, but they both work.
Okay, I'm glad. I've started to use those again. I've stole some lines from you, but I'm like,
For sure.
I'm not truly sure I'm using these all correctly. But now I get what you're saying. So baseball's a little more casual.
Yeah.
That's porn is for a little more intense situation.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
good. That's a good assessment.
Two people making
Yeah.
out at the bar just relentlessly all over each other. You look at them, you're like, "Fuck, that's porn."
That could also be baseball.
But that's baseball too.
Depending on the restaurant.
Yeah, there's just nothing better than just looking at your buddy and totally disregarding what he said to you and just looking at him, taking a minute to pause and just saying, "Fuck, that's porn, fella." And he's like, "What?" And you just totally just ignored everything he just told you.
He's like, "What? I just told you my grandpa died."
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
"How is that porn?"
That's porn, fella.
When I hear like something like that, and I feel like, boys, this would be a guy that I would vouch for to ever come on the show. But one of my college teammates, name was Andrew Sandejo, and he played, I think, 12 years, was on the Vikings forever with Harrison Smith.
Yeah,
Okay.
good player.
And very good player. Very good player. He was one of the funniest guys I've ever been around. And we had the Super Bowls in Minnesota probably a decade ago, maybe 8, 9 years, whatever. So I'm like, yo, Dale, like, just link up. back then we were kind of pushing the envelope pretty hard. So we're going out, and it was the first time I ever heard anybody say this, and he'd said it to everyone, but there'd be a bunch of Vikings fans around, and he was a pretty big guy on that team. So, the guy comes up to be like, you look familiar. Like, they're about to say, like, are you Andrew Sandejo? And he'd be like, really? You watch a lot of porn? That was his quote. The next fan comes up like, you look really familiar, and he every time it was just clockwork, some different version, like, yeah, do you watch a lot of porn? And I know you from somewhere. Yeah, you watch a lot of porn. And that was one too where the look on some of these people's faces when you say that was really outstanding. That was one I've really enjoyed.
Oh man, that's one of our favorite lines when we get on stage and just rip our improv comedy. It's just like, we get to a different city and we've just been bundled up under the covers. Yeah, we checked in 42 minutes ago, and honestly, guys, we just sat at the hotel and just started just hammering porn, and they're like, what the fuck? And you get on stage, you're like, yeah, my New Year's resolution is actually just to start hammering more porn. And people are like, what the fuck?
We had like a 15-minute bit that was it was killing in Toronto about porn, and they were loving it. And then we kind of did the same thing in Ottawa, and they were just like, what the fuck?
Based on the small time I've spent in Ottawa, though, that kind of tracks a little bit.
Yeah.
The Ottawa crowd's probably a little different.
Yeah, we pulled up to the one of 3 hotels they have in that entire city, and there was just Palestine flags everywhere. We're like, oh boy, here we go.
I'll tell you what, though, boys, I went to Ottawa. I mean, you guys see, especially in Canada, a lot of the cities. I was traveling for the 9 league team. I'm going to all these cities, and I'm like, some of these cities have seen better days. I get to Ottawa in the Uber. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, this is the nicest place in Canada. Some of the neighborhoods we're driving through, I'm like, these houses look like all mansions. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? I'm like, how the hell is Ottawa so damn nice?
Yeah, I know. And even down by the, where Justin Trudeau used to roam, that's nice. Like the Parliament building, and
it's
got a cool feel to it. Yeah, it's just cold as fuck, man. Jesus, we were there.
It's bad. Ontario's getting small. I'm going back on Monday. It's gonna be a bloodbath.
Are you in TO or are you in Windsor? Are you in both?
TO mainly. I'll drop down. I got the rents in Windsor. I got a brother in London, Ontario, so I kind of I rip up and down the 401. See some family here and there. Yeah,
the 40 stung.
I want to put that bottle in the
Every time you're on that fucking highway, you're just stung. The 40 stung.
I'm stealing that, dude.
Oh man, what do we think of this game though? Are your Seahawks gonna get it done?
Boys, I hope so. I really hope so. I'm nervous. So everyone's saying Seahawks are going to blow them out. I actually think New England's a lot better than what people think.
For sure.
I am everyone asks for predictions. I got Seattle 21-17, so low scoring.
Yep.
But there's a lot of Seattle needs to play very, very clean if they want to win this shit, dude. They can't turn the ball over. Vrabel is like a fucking mastermind. It just, I snagged 3 points here, the field goal. We had some weird play here. We used our timeouts correctly, and now all of a sudden there's a touchdown. It's like, fuck, dude, we're playing pretty well, but they've scored 10 points. You turn the ball over, next thing you know, they're choking you out. So that's porn, That's how it goes.
I mean, the next thing you know, you're tied up to the bed like Todd and Wedding Crashers, right? Long night, tough sleep, soft mattress. Yeah, it could have been that, or the nude gay art show that took place in my room. One of the two.
Man. But I do think Seattle gets it done, but I'm a bit nervous.
Yeah, 1 minute 17-17, and the next thing you know, you got an American Eagle belt around your neck, and that is porn.
The of a VRBO and a headlock.
Yeah, I did. Boys, I wanted to show these. I'd never wear these, but I brought them. I don't know if I can put this on camera. You get one of these nice guys for winning.
Oh wow! Look at that fella.
But then, what I want to show you, if you lose, you get the pathetic version with you. It looks like there's diamonds, but there's actually not, like the Seahawk is.
What is that?
There's This is the year we lost. We get an NFC Championship ring.
Oh man!
So it's and I didn't either. But it's a bit like you look at this small one and you're like, man, it's almost repulsive. You're like, God, I hate that fucking thing. It just represents everything shitty in my life.
I was gonna say, take that to a pawn shop in Oakland, see what you can get for it.
But that's what's on the line. You either get the shit one or the nice big guy. We'll
Yeah.
see.
That's unreal, brother. Hey, we don't want to take too much of your time. This was unreal. We appreciate you stopping by, and keep it baseball, keep it porn out there. And if you need a 90-90 tonight,
Give me one.
I'm probably
Give me
gonna
one.
be
I
on the
need
pit
it.
too. I'll hit you up.
He said he needs it.
I'll get it. Well, we'll
Dude.
send out the bat signal. It doesn't take much. Usually I respond in about 4.5 seconds.
Dude. Have you ever seen? I'll just end it with this. Have you ever seen the Enter Sandman stuff of Virginia Tech?
Yes.
When they're coming through playing football, that's me on like a night out. When I hear like the 90, when you send me the 90 voicemail, dude, I'm like, we're ready to go, dude. What's going on the gas? Here we go.
Yeah, brother. Well, we'll stay safe and stay tucked in San Francisco. And if you're peeling around there, just realize that everyone walking around, even though they may appear hot, might have a wrench. So just stay tucked out there.
Stay tucked, boys. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, Luke, anytime, always a blast. And hey, maybe this summer in Toronto or some shit, we'll do one of these in person over the
Dude,
street.
that'd be electric. I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
in.
figure shit out.
Can't wait.
All right, man. Thank you for coming on.
See you,
Get
boys.
tucked out there.
Thanks, brother.
See ya.
All right, later. Luke Willson, folks, one of the official NFL correspondent of the show.
Talked a lot of football.
Dude, just saying that's porn is so funny, just considering he's on actual TV.
He is an all-time guy.
Yeah, he's
like that. If we were to ever give a third seat to someone at home by 3,
Yeah,
I think he's my number one pick.
you might have a golden ticket right now.
Yeah, like
which
that guy
would,
he's
he
incredible.
can just come on whenever the fuck he wants.
He
Like
is
he could just buzz in, and we're like, all right, Luke's coming on. Doesn't matter what the fuck we're doing.
Oh my god, that is what a legend.
All right, folks.
This is a show that goes live for 3 hours. Show.
I don't even know if we should do the Patreon. Should we do the Patreon like Monday morning or something?
Yeah, we
Or
could.
do you want to rip it now?
It doesn't matter to me.
Like the camera is gonna die. I don't even think we can. That's the thing.
Yeah, I think we just had Luke Willson on. Like that's an all timer.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna. Yeah, I think folks, for our Chin Club members, we might have to do this either tomorrow, unless we get pinned tonight, or Monday, because the camera. I'm surprised it didn't die when he was on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, we apologize. We're pumping content for you.
we're absolutely pumping out porn.
I would say let's do it Monday just to be safe.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah.
Right.
All right, guys. Yeah, yeah. That guy's such a beauty, dude.
He's-
Holy shit.
I know, isn't he? Like
He's
that's why I wanted to have him on. I was like, we got.
I mean, it's the best when somebody has a real job. Like the guy fucking is reporting the Super Bowl for TSN, right?
He's their best guy.
And he's on here talking about baseball and porn with us. It's just like a lot of the times for us, we don't really get that sort of I mean, for the first year and a half of this show, people are like, "We can't come on. You guys talk about dust. You guys talk about porn." But then we have a guy like Luke Willson, who's a huge beauty, and comes on and gives us the time of day. So
Yeah.
what a legend. Holy fuck.
Yeah, that was awesome. So thanks to Mike Young. Thank you to Luke Willson, Bob Gucci, Jay Swish. As always, folks, go like this, subscribe, retweet it for us, do whatever. I mean, that Luke Willson bit didn't get the love in terms of how many people we had in here, but who cares? People can go listen to it. That was awesome.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the link, actually.
Yeah,
Something's
I know.
going on with YouTube, but
It
who
is.
cares? All right, guys, we're out. Have a safe weekend. My retarded uncle will be picking the coin toss on Sunday. Stay tuned. We out. Peace.